Hello and welcome to Divine Astro. Very often, which goes in all of our mind, why there is so much of miseries in the early part of our life in our 20s, 30s. However, you been pretty much succumb to those injuries which goes in your mind frame. Well, I would state like there are a few set of nakshatras which gives you immense amount of miseries, the kind of time which we call it as karmic deeds, which has to be replenished in the very beginning part of your life. It is a test of your patience, endurance, and humility, which post the 40 years of your age is likely to unlock and is going to gift you with a precious life filled with wealth, respect, fame, recognition, and much more. But that is for sure is going to happen with you. That is the beauty which happens whenever the Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu decelerate your growth at the early part of your life. However, it is never denied in the post 40s of your age. This recognition, accolades, reputation, fame, and wealth, massive wealth, I would rather state, which are the state of nakshatras which are been having the penance in the early stage of life. Very fast nakshatra, that is Ardra nakshatra, ruled by Rahu. This does indicates a ear drop, a tear drop. This teardrop is absolutely because of the I would say the storm before the calmness. The initial part will be bringing you the kind of left, right, and center. You are going to be chaotic with all kind of perplexities in your life. This could be for anything, but once you touch the 40 year, in particularly the 42nd year, you begin to see the immense growth. People with this kind of nakshatra burn usually are good with technology, innovation, research and development, which they reap the success at the 40 years of age with a massive wealth, fame, everything. The second, that is our Bharani, the extreme ups and the downs, which you can say in the early youth. And these are the people, if I would say, like in the 45, 48, while you begin to see the reputed academician, the writers, yeah, they are the ones who are good with novel and all. They begin to reap success only after the late years, because that is how the aestheticsness of the work which has been done in the early part of their career goes into the public recognition after the late years, and they are being rewarded for the same. So that is how they earn a more than decent life, which is just a kind of aspiration for many. But this is only for those people, those who are born in the Bharani Nakshatra and are being gifted the late 40 years age success. Third, that is Moola Nakshatra. Moola is known for the uprooted bringing up. So this is are the no particular set of nakshatra who are being starving in the initial part for XYG reason. They, the very minor of the things, the minute of the things which should be pretty much made goes undo by them with some very frivolous mistakes in the kind of times they go through. However, the 40s bring them deep spiritual growth. They are morely known in the religious text publication. They bring about the kind of the texts which we see morely in the times, and the generation becomes worse for those kind of teachings. They are the good mentors in the religious lens, and they become famed and reputed in the society, are the Moola Nakshatras. Magha Nakshatra. Again, this is another nakshatra ruled by Ketu, which is primarily known for the pitru dos. In the early years of the 20s until the 30s, they have to deal through poor marital bliss, marital disaccord. However, yeah, this marital bliss and disaccord won't be getting how would I say, like, won't be getting over also in the 40s. However, they are going to earn massive wealth, fame in the 40 plus years. That is how it works for the Magha Nakshatra, because Magha is known as the royal throne. And that is how the nature, this is going to gift you with things in the materialistic world, in the fame, reputation. But yeah, the marital bliss is something has to given a kind of free space, I would rather say. Next is your Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Jyeshtha is one where there is no heap of burden is quite high in the very beginning part of your life. Of all of a sudden, once you touch towards 35 plus, you begin to see out of nowhere of a blue moon, you begin to gauge success, and that resonates with your kind of work, and you achieve higher accolades, wealth, prosperity, fortune, everything comes into place for the Jyeshtha Nakshatras. This is how it works post the 40s. Shatabhisha, the one, as we say, like the one man army, or the lonely dweller in the street. The initial part of life is, I would say, not glass is half empty, it is completely empty kind of thing, which it does looks by. But these are the people, those who reach the higher in the ladder. They are the reputed politicians. They come up with the kind of a skill set which is literally set the things into order. So that is how the Sattvisha Nakshatra does works for. So because of the karmic deeds, these 6 nakshatras definitely achieve success in the 40 plus. That is how it is been illustrated in our Vedas, in our the Upanishads, and also the kind of religious text. In our Sanatan Dharma, there is the Ullekh, where we used to state people with these nakshatras are having the intense karmic deeds for which they pay it off in the earlier part of the life. That is how the beauty of the Sanatan Dharma, and that is how it works for all the 6 nakshatras. Cheers.